Somebody else.
Sorry, that's early.
There. Oh, okay, now I'll see what happened. Come on, Evie, let's see how this works. Reboot here, so we'll see what happens.
Not as comfortable as a recliner.
No.
Okay. Oh, I forgot that. And then all of your random stuff, you know.
March 23rd.
Yeah,
That's what reminded me, otherwise I would.
Yeah. So do two claims here. Yeah. I wasn't sure if we needed a motion, because technically we've approved paying coaches. So when I saw those there, I'm like, I don't know. It's better safe than sorry, I said. Well, I just read the back. So. Also, if you're ever in a random account and you see that an extra $750, I don't think computer. Oh, like, this is absolute pain in the butt.
I don't, like, I thought about the pool, you should get the pool laptop. So that she doesn't have to use her own stuff to do study.
Yeah, I'm willing to share.
Go back to 3.
Well, we just have to talk. It is what it is.
Brenda? Where do you want? Where do you want me to insert approval of the, because we're not city council at first, so do the approval after the recess?
Oh, feeling like you're normal?
Yeah, because we have to make an addition, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they're in the zoning board.
Right, like you're talking about calling your meeting to order. And then you guys approve the agenda.
Yeah,
And then go to number 8, or letter A.
yeah.
Jake on a tool, just Bill. Jake on a tool, just Bill.
Okay, it should be 6:30 here sometime. I have 6:32.
Have we officially given up?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay,
for some reason, it's nothing's talking to each other.
time of death at 6:33 apparently. Not that there was
You
ever like.
might have missed a crucial step here.
What's that? I said you might have missed the crucial stuff. condition. When you have a hooked up to you might be configure a laptop so it goes to Windows P. And you select where you want to go, but basically. But you'd have to have it hooked up.
I guess we'll try it. We'll try it.
Yeah,
Not all much.
People smarter than me, so.
Yeah, I Googled.
Again, it's people, we'll try it.
there's no DNR, you must continue to attend.
Turn the TV on.
One go to your BMI 3.
So you go down to. Come down
I
here.
thought we'd have proof.
He was in town.
And then what am I supposed to
He
do?
got back. Looks like Windows. Unless he's thinking it's 7 o'clock.
Windows.
Yeah, we have time.
Cause I seen he was down fueling up at 5:30.
Yeah.
And what does it say I'm supposed to do?
It says. And choose duplicate. Cause I just happened to look to make sure what time it was and I see it said 6:30, so it's like, oh, okay.
It's probably a dumb question. Does a guy have to get a building permit if he's replacing a deck on a house?
Are you in any question?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You can't
I mean, I figured if you're making it bigger, especially.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so it's not this, it's me.
It's all your fault.
Did not know that. Well, just back to the.
It might just be a matter of rebooting or something too, you never know.
Weird. Well, we can proceed as is. We have questions, we can talk about them, and we can kind of go from there. So
Okay,
if you want to, we can just start it up, Madam Mayor.
all right. It is 6:34. I'll call the meeting to order. Has everyone had a chance? There's one addition to the agenda, and that's adding 2 claims. So is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll second.
Motion by John, second by Joe. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We're good.
We need the planning commission to call themselves to order.
Call the meeting to order.
And so to help everybody along, I'll just kind of act as something of a parliamentarian. So basically now the mayor and the planning commission, they call the meeting to order. And now you both will call for a public hearing on ordinance 473-26, joint public hearing. So this, each of you will say, now it's time for a public hearing.
Now it's time for public hearing.
Okay, it is now time for a public hearing on ordinance 473, TAC 26.
And being that the planning commission is kind of driving it, you'll be the chair for this part until we give it back to the city council. So you want to just turn it over to me.
I will turn this over to Todd Pace.
So if you can all recall, a month or so ago, I was here and we went over at the 5,000 foot level, all of the work that the planning commission had been working on for the last several months. And a whole litany of different proposed changes to the city's zoning codes, which had not been updated in many, many years. And what I think the planning commission had felt with recommendations, and we talked through most everything on there that I thought there was a few minor suggestions to be added. We made those changes, amended the zoning map, sent that information back out to the city planning commission, posted it on our website, then advertised for the adoption process to begin. And last Monday, the city council held the first reading by title of ordinance number 473-26, which is basically an ordinance amending the city's current zoning regulations and zoning map. Given that, normally how this process would normally work is that if the public wants to make any questions or comments or ask anything about what does the ordinance say about this, that, the other thing, I usually will stand by, let those comments come forward, answer those questions if we can. And then from there, we would close the public hearing. And then there'd be discussion on the planning commission and city council. We can have joint discussion. And if there's anything major that we need to step back and think about, we'll talk about that. If everybody's comfortable, then the planning commission would make a resolution recommending change. And then the city council would vote on that change. And then we would publish notices in the paper. And in about 40 odd days from now, everything would be in effect. So given that, rather than going down the rabbit hole that we had talked about a month ago, I just guess you can just ask if there's anybody in the public that has a question or comment.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
Need to ask 3 times under Robert's rules, so.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody have any questions or comments?
You may now close the joint public hearing, Mr. Chair.
The joint meeting has been
Joint
closed.
public hearing is closed, and we will do the same thing on the city side.
The joint public hearing has been closed.
Okay, so now here we are, we're at that point of the planning commission having a resolution to approve, and we'll get that on the table, then we'll open it up for discussion. And if you want, Mr. Chair, I can read the resolution. Be it resolved that the Lake Preston Commission recommends to the Lake Preston City Council that they approve and adopt ordinance 473-26 and ordinance amending ordinance 397-02 as amended. An ordinance establishing zoning regulations for the city of Lake Preston, South Dakota, providing for the administration, enforcement, and amendment thereof in accordance with provisions of the chapters 11-4 and 11-6, 1967 South Dakota Codified Law and amendments thereof, and for the repeal of all resolutions and ordinances in conflict herewith. You would need a motion in a second, and then we'll have discussion.
Do I have a motion
From your board?
From the planning commission.
from the planning commission?
Yeah, I'll second or make a motion, whatever.
Second?
I'll second
So now we have a motion and a second to make the recommendation. Does the planning commission, based upon our previous conversations on my meeting last month and the changes that have been made since that meeting, have any other questions or comments regarding proposed changes?
Any comments or changes? Yes, no?
So you may call for a vote of the planning commission on that resolution.
I call for a vote of the planning commission on that. All in favor? All opposed?
Passing, right?
So the planning commission has made the motion, second, and adopted resolution 101-26. And now, Mr. Chair, you may adjourn the planning commission meeting. Your job is done on that tonight.
Planning commission is adjourned.
Madam Mayor, you are now, the issue is before you as the city council. You have basically 2 possible paths moving forward here. If, once we have a motion to approve the second reading, the discussion would be if there's substantive changes, we would temporarily take a pause, come back on a public hearing on any substantive changes. If there's minor changes, we can talk through those and you can still vote. But basically what you'll need is a motion and a second just to get it on the table from your city council members.
I make a motion. I'll second.
So there's been a motion and a second to have a second reading and adoption of 473-26. I guess, Madam Mayor, the question would be, is there any further discussion or recommendations on the ordinance?
Has anyone come to anyone with concerns or?
Not aware of anything.
And Brenda, we had one question that was asked, and I think I answered it a couple of weeks ago. Somebody asked a question, I can't remember what it was about now.
Yeah, the only one I recall was like business owners, unlicensed vehicles.
Yes,
like-
and we talked, and I think I answered that question
Yeah.
and how we were.
Right, that's the only one I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And so, if there are no amendments proposed, you can call for a vote. And generally, I like roll call votes.
Yes, we do
on-
for ordinance, yeah.
Is there any questions from the two residents?
I'm not sure. Pardon me for being late, but I'm not familiar with the resolution at all, so.
It's rezoning,
So our zoning ordinance hasn't been
Yeah.
updated since 2003. And so the zoning board went through several meetings to bring it up to date. And so that's what they're,
yeah, this is a compilation of their work.
Okay,
Yeah, so, yeah, it's a formality just to update
I'm good.
that. Okay, good. All right, hearing no.
You find unlicensed business owners, unlicensed vehicles, you find that?
I think the question.
Was it like page 126?
I think wasn't the
What are you
question.
considering an unlicensed vehicle? You know,
I think your existing code says vehicles not in use and without a current license may not be kept in any uncovered or unscreened area other than designated junk or salvage yard. So that's the rule that you've had since 2003.
Mhm.
And there were no proposed changes. And I think that was the question somebody said,
Right,
what does that mean? Well,
oh, now I remember.
what it means is that if I have a car and it's unlicensed and not operable or in use, then it needs to be stored indoors or in a junkyard.
Right.
And I think that, whether or not you've been enforcing that for 26,
Right.
20, many years, or not, that's been the rule, and the board didn't propose any changes to that rule.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question, sir.
I just wanted to make sure it didn't pertain to my payloader.
It is a vehicle.
But no, the commercial, I mean, the residential area, but over the business, you know, somebody that works in cars, it could be.
Yeah, and I think again, I think what the intent was when this rule was written many years ago, was that I'm not storing a half a dozen cars in my backyard with the hoods up on blocks, that looks like a junkyard.
Party mount.
yeah,
I think that was the intent then, I think it's still that today.
yeah,
And I think generally common sense would prevail. Good question, though.
yeah, like, that's the only thing that I
That was the only
heard.
thing that anybody brought to me in the interim. on that.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns, council? All right, we have a motion by Joe and a second by Joel. Roll call vote.
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Joel,
Aye.
Austin,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
okay?
Jeremy just said, oh shoot, not gonna make it.
Yeah, noted.
So where we're at then now is that the first and second reading has occurred by the city council. I've emailed Brenda the notice that will need to go in the next 2 weeks' papers. And then 20 days thereafter, the new regulations will be in place. So between now and then, I will be working with Brenda on updating the administrative manual, the new forms, kind of going through some of those process and procedures with her. And then I'll be coming back probably end of June, first part of July, to start working with the planning commission to update the land use plan, which is basically where we just go out and we decide how the city is going to continue growing and where it's going to grow and how it should be residential. It's common sense things, but it's be based upon what we did in the zoning ordinance to backfill that. And then we'll probably maybe talk just a little bit, your subdivision rules and when people want to plat property, and just to see if there's any questions on how that should work and how it's supposed to work and whether or not you've been doing it that way. We'll spend some time. So you'll still see me off and on between now and Labor Day, I'm guessing, at least once a month. But I'll see you in June, but I won't see the board in June. Any questions of me? I think it's been a good process so far, and
So I just have a couple.
Yeah.
The one email I forwarded you guys today, if they're fixing a basement wall, we don't need a building.
so my take on it, and I'll let the zoning board take that, but if I'm digging a trench and I'm putting in,
Up to you, anchors.
our rebars,
Well,
it's just anchors,
Yeah.
and then I'm taking those anchors and I'm burying them further in, everything's under the ground. Technically, it's probably not a structure by the way your ordinance is defined. And it's not, and once the work's done, you're never gonna know that it was even done in the first place. I don't know if it, I probably wouldn't do it. I would say thanks for letting us know, so let the neighbors know that this isn't gonna be tore up for months. It's just to stabilize that wall so it doesn't cave in on somebody's house.
I
That's
think
kind of.
the purpose of it is to go down there and crank them and tighten them up every once in a while,
Yeah.
and keep holding the wall.
Keeping the wall back, exactly. The other thing that we're probably gonna end up wanting to do, and we can either do it this summer, or we'll talk about it again, is to talk about your fee schedule, maybe at least starting in January, maybe we'll start the first year with your fee schedule. Talk about what other communities do to charge for building permit fees and all that stuff, to make sure that, make sure that you're at least covering the cost of business when people are applying for their permits. And I know it's something that, no one likes to see higher costs for fees, but I've always been an advocate that I don't think my taxes should be going to have Joe have a reduced fee for his building permit. I mean, he needs something, he needs a service, he needs to pay for the cost of that service. And so, I can't remember off the top of our head, we talked about it a long time ago, but we do need to talk about that. I'll just give you examples of what other people do in other communities, and you can decide whether or not that's too expensive or not enough or what have you. But that's the other thing we'll probably end up doing over the course of the summer, just talking about fees and having that set up. And generally, most communities, every January, their first meeting, they always review their fees. And so I would just, that way, we haven't raised fees in 25 years and we decide to go from here to there, it's gonna be a sticker shock for some people. But then it's like almost every year you should just review that, just so that you're staying current, so you don't sticker shock people. And it's kind of like when you guys had water rates before you started doing all your water and sewer projects. It's just one of those things. Any other questions or comments from me? So far, I'd say it's been really good, just, working with the planning and zoning, very good to work with.
This is a little bit off then. So what do you think of the sales tax going to reduce property taxes?
Well, there's a couple different ways of looking at that. I mean, from the state perspective, now you at the municipality have got the ability to raise taxes for project work, which I think was a good thing that came out of the legislature. From the perspective that if the community has a bunch of projects that they want to try to accomplish in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, and they want to tax themselves, sales tax, so that when you got fishermen here, paying extra penny sales tax, that'll help pay for the new park equipment, or maybe resurfacing of a road. And you can use that new tax that you tax yourselves or the others in that penny. You can do that, assess that for like 5 years and then pay for the project. And then once that project is done, then you gotta wait 2 years before you can do another project. But that was something that came out. I'm dodging your question a little bit, Joe. But the state taking it from the 4.5 back, or 4.2 back up to 4.5, and they're using that as the ability to buy down your property taxes for single family residences. It was an approach, it was the only thing that really came out of the legislature where it seemed that there was any agreement, because there was about 15, I think it was 22 different tax proposals to try to help people with property taxes, and that was the only one that got passed. And so, right, wrong, or indifferent, I think it's probably, they're gonna try it and see what happens. The other thing that could possibly happen down the road here is the county could turn around and impose a 1 cent sales tax. That would then go to reduce property taxes for everybody. So if I got 4.5 cents for the state, you guys got a 2 penny tax, got another penny for bed, board, and booze too. You could be doing that, for everybody staying in the hotel or buying liquor, you get another penny there, and that money can be used for certain things. So theoretically, some towns, they got the 4.5, you got the regular 2 cents, they got a third penny, and then now there'll be a county maybe take on. We're getting close to 10 cents on every dollar for the sales tax, because that's how people in the state want to pay for things, I guess. So
I guess the way I look at it is, now am I gonna be helping pay for people in Sioux Falls house property tax?
every time you go to Sioux Falls and buy things, you're gonna be helping their property.
No, but I mean, as through the state even. Because how are they going to distribute that money back to,
So the one.
obviously, the people in a $2, $3, $4 million house is gonna get a lot more back than.
Well, that's being done, this summer, there's the Department of Revenue is putting together the rules on how those funds get redistributed back across the state. And I think the intent is that if Minnehaha County decides to implement that 1 penny sales tax and everybody and their dog from across the state shops in Sioux Falls, and gets that money that's raised there in Minnehaha, that stays in Minnehaha County. It doesn't come to help us out in Kingsbury County for any of our property tax reduction. It stays there. And then from there, the state's gonna set up the rules that, everybody gets a base return of this, and then for every, I'm gonna guess, for every $100,000 of value on your residence, you're gonna get a percentage more or something like that. I think that's probably, there's gonna be a base, everybody's gonna get the same $200 cut or $400 cut on your taxes for the first $300,000 or $400,000 for the property. And then every 100,000 after that, they'll probably see some sort of a tick up. So yes, if I got a $2 million house, I'm gonna get a better back.
A lot better check
than
back than somebody's
400,000.
got.
But theoretically, I'm paying more property taxes than that other guy too, so.
Yeah, but then if you could afford to build that $4 million house, you should be able to pay the damn taxes too.
That's why, and that's why you had 22 bills and you couldn't get anybody to agree to a damn thing out there. So, and it'll all, after, see what happens this fall with the election, I'm sure it's gonna come back with something else. And they're gonna keep working at it because everybody is not happy with property taxes. So, again, thank you. Any other questions?
Did they get, I know somebody was trying to get where they're gonna put it on the ballot, is that,
That failed. They didn't get the signatures to,
okay,
at least in 26.
Okay.
But my understanding is that the people that were trying to get that done, they ran out of time, and they're probably gonna have some sort of thing. If the legislature doesn't change things this next session, they'll probably be something on the ballot in 28 if they get the 35,000 signatures that they have to get.
so when does that go back to, that 0.3% come back on?
July, 20, actually, we won't see it tax-wise till 27. But
Okay.
I wanna say it starts July 1st
Of this year?
of this year. But then they'll raise money for a year, and they took $54 million out of a fund out they had in Pier for housing. And that, between the two of those, they'll have $110 million, they think, in 27, when the taxes come due. They start paying back that, or they just shouldn't have taxed us that much in the first place.
An argument could be made.
Yeah, well, thank you again, and like I said, we'll be in touch, and I'll be talking to you soon.
No, I think.
Thanks for your efforts.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah, no, you're still good. I was gonna ask Brent. Did somebody send something for paper press? Okay.
I just have that. Planning commission.
You guys are in luck.
I would just-
I wrote myself a note. I have a list of things.
And then when we get into
Executive?
we'll have a final-
No.
Oh.
No. My gripe. It's on my list. Mhm.
Thanks, Tom.
Mhm.
Hopefully, you're ready for another day for me.
3.
Stay dry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Pay request 7 for 2B. All right. Pay request in the amount of $351,330.74. Banner has reviewed the pay request and recommends payments contingent upon Danner approval.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We do have 2 claims.
Was that, is that wrong? To be?
Yeah, are you exempting yourself?
Yeah, I better exempt myself.
Okay.
Is that your wages? All of it?
Yeah.
No, that was just rain day.
Oh,
wages.
okay.
So we have 2 claims for coaching, Amber and Bree. First portion of the pay of $750 each. So that was our claim.
I'll second it.
Motion by John, second by Rick. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Employee concerns.
My window was replaced within 24 hours
Wonderful.
Window.
of me breaking
Would you throw at it?
That's something that made my list.
Which window?
it.
Your sliding one?
Yeah.
Oh, your sliding window?
It doesn't slam well, for the record.
Oh,
Well,
was it slammed in anger or?
Yes.
Perhaps.
Oops.
is it plexiglass this time? Maybe,
Bulletproof.
That was my recommendation.
Maybe get a little sticker that says on it, bulletproof glass in the wheel.
Is that your only? Okay, council?
Well, I'm curious about the glass, but other than that,
Same, but I can live without.
I don't know. No,
Okay, so my list. 1, we didn't mention last week, but it is custom that changing of seasons, we communicate with law enforcement as far as which ordinances we want enforced, and they have notified about mowing grass into the streets.
Good.
So
How
we
much
do
is
it.
mowing grass? There's a few properties where it's
Yeah.
Kinda dull.
I kind of noticed a couple the other day.
Yeah, Brian already called me about one on Park Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's
That's
two
what I
of
was
them, there's
thinking
2
of.
of them there on Park Avenue. That could be,
And I'm sure there's
that
others.
one got mowed on Sunday, if you were thinking of the one next to the other,
oh, okay,
because I mowed it.
oh, okay. Attaboy, atta.
Yeah.
Gives you that good feeling. Cost you $5 with the gas, but
Yeah.
it gives you that
Yeah,
good
$5, yeah.
neighbor feeling.
So yeah, just know if you do it, we're not warning people. Law enforcement has already been out to visit with some of our fine folks.
Okay.
Rubble site, I know we as a city have been very lenient and lending out keys even when it is not open. And apparently that has led to some misunderstanding about whether or not people whether or not there are fees associated with taking things to the Rebel site. No, that fees are part of it, so we can't, it's not that it would need a motion anyway, but it is my suggestion that if someone is going to, because it's not always convenient to do it during our hours, I get that. But I think you should have to go to the city to pick up said key and know that when you return the key, you will be given your ticket and how much you owe.
So like today I got a phone call from roofers out at Thompson. I made them come by my office. I viewed the trailer. I made them pay for,
Sure.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
Yeah.
then they got the key.
Yeah,
I think that's the way to do it.
You know, especially when they're out of towners,
Yeah,
you know, out of towner contractors, I should say.
Yeah, the people that are too entitled think that they have to pay. They're right down.
yes.
I haven't even been in the restricted one this year. All I've taken out is to the
trees.
branches.
Yeah.
Because I've let myself in there several evenings, but it's always just been branches
Yeah,
and stuff. But yeah, I haven't even been out to the restricted one yet this year either.
so, just so people are aware that there is a fee, if you got away with it in the past, lucky you, consider yourself notified. And then that brings me up to the third thing that didn't actually make the list, but stayed here. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but, and I'm preaching to the choir, I know. If we could just please be nice to Brenda. It is really unfortunate that she's exposed to the words that she is, the attitudes that she has to put up with, and there's absolutely no reason for it. So,
Same person?
no, this is a new one.
I should probably just start acting like a bitch.
No, I don't think that's our solution.
Maybe don't write that down.
Strike that from the record.
Yeah, so, yeah, I just ask you to please treat people with respect, and, yeah, that was my third thing, so.
You know,
It's sad that you should have to say that.
Yeah.
It's
Multiple times.
embarrassing that you should have to say that.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of like an old saying. I remember hearing this, you know, if you can't talk to me nice, don't talk to me at all.
Do we have to have a sign that says that?
no, we have too many signs, they wouldn't see it.
That'd take time to read it. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Well, there used to be, well, still there, but there was a great song back in the 70s. One called Signs, Signs Everywhere, Signs.
Walking out to St. Marie, breaking my mind.
Do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign?
Yeah.
all right, so that's the end of my list. Next meeting is maybe not on here for once.
July,
Ooh,
When's the
June
first?
8th.
oh, June 8th, yeah.
So, in other words,
Yeah.
the first must be like on a
I was
Monday.
thinking July already.
Wishful thinking.
At 7 PM at City Hall. So with that, we're adjourned at 7:06. Thanks.
Well, can't go home and mow now.
I'm glad I mowed on Sunday.
Yeah, we hurried up.
You glad
I
you
got-
did
I
that on
got 1
Sunday?
yard mowed on Sunday.
Did it anything to keep that in the field?
Oh, you need to keep dad in the field?
Which he wanted to.
We had to mow just to go